The Non-Commissioned Evaluation Report, also known as the NCOER in the Army. As we advance in our career, so is the level of responsibility. With that, there are some things that we really have to know, and we have to learn it on our own. And one of them is how to write an NCOER. Yes, there are training available out there, but to be truly proficient at something, you have to do it over and over again, like anything else in life. There are many types of NCOERs. Okay, that was squeaky. As I was saying, there are many types of NCOERs. This video is strictly about how to write the bullets, because knowing the types, but we don't know how to write the bullets, it's really irrelevant at this point. This video, you learn 5 basic steps on how to write an NCOER bullet. I'm making this video because I know the struggle. As I was starting to write NCOERs, I was terrible at it. Now I'm a first sergeant, I review every single one of them. So I really hope this helps you out. I can't emphasize how important it is to be able to write an NCOER, because we owe it to the soldiers that we lead. This is the easiest and fastest way to earn their trust and be credible. It's also the fastest way of losing it. So let's dive in. What I will be covering in this video is not everything. So if you have something to add that would provide value to people that are watching this video, please put that in the comments below. I would encourage you to watch this video all the way till the end, because I want to give you a tip about the overall rater and senior rater comments. Also, if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel. All right, so before writing the NCOER, you gotta have at least an idea of your rating philosophy. So what is a rating philosophy? Basically, your rating philosophy is the yardstick you use to rate the soldier. As long as you use the same yardstick when you rate other soldiers, so it's fair for everybody. I know it's a little complicated than it sounds, so let's use some scenarios here. So you have to rate their performance, whether they met the standard or did not meet the standard, exceeded the standard or far exceeded the standard. Did not meet the standard and met the standard, it's basically easy. It just tells you that they did their job or not. The complication comes in whether it's an exceed the standard or far exceed the standard. Let's use the ACFT for example, or even the APFT, but right now since we're going to the ACFT, let's use that. Let's say a soldier scored a 600 on the ACFT. Now if I were to ask you as a rater, would you give him an exceed the standard or far exceed the standard? And most of you would say far exceed the standard. Well, you're probably right. But I want you to look at something. If 600 on an ACFT is far exceed, then where do we draw the line between an exceed the standard and far exceed the standard? So what if the soldier scored a 450 or a 500? That's really where the complication is. Maybe this will help. Using the same scenario of the ACFT, if obviously soldier fails the ACFT, that did not meet the standard. Soldier passes the ACFT, that's met the standard. The soldier scored a 600, saying, look at me, I'm great, I'm a stud, that's exceeded the standard. And far exceed would probably be, look at me, I'm a stud, and I helped out my team, and they're all studs. Everybody passed the ACFT, and that's probably a far exceed, because he not only was performing well, he also used influence and leadership to make everybody around them better. Make sense? I really hope it does help. And you can use the same analogy and look at different areas of emphasis. Now that's out of the way, so now let's look at writing the NCOER bullets. The NCOER is broken down in 5 different areas of emphasis. 6 really if you include character, but since we're talking about character basically performance as it relates to the Army values, warrior ethos, empathy, do you support and enforce EO or equal opportunity, SHARP program, all that stuff. Now there's only 2 scores you can get there. It's either you're a med standard or did not meet the standard. Now, if you did not meet that standard, then you shouldn't be watching this video. More than likely, you're about to get kicked out of the Army, because for you to get a did not meet the standard here, it's gonna be something very, very serious that your career is probably on the line. Now, if you're wondering where to find the description on each areas of emphasis, actually written in the NCOER itself. So the first one is presence. When you write bullets about presence, it'll tell you to kind of look at areas such as the military bearing, professional bearing, fitness, and confidence, and at the same time, resilience. The next one is intellect. Under intellect, you have to focus more on mental agility, sound judgment, innovation, interpersonal tact, and expertise. Followed on by leads. Leads describes how the rated soldiers leads others, builds trust, extends influence beyond the chain of command, leads by example, and communicates. Next one is develops. Develops is where the rated soldier creates a positive environment, positive workplace, fosters team building or esprit de corps, morale, prepares self, develops others, and the steward of the profession. And last is achieves, which basically means how does the rated soldier gets results. Now, many of us focus only on achieves because achieves is the easiest to quantify in the NCOER. But remember, you are not just being evaluated on performance, but also professionalism, attributes, and competencies. Now, if you don't believe me, it's actually written on the very top of the second page of the NCOER. So check it out. So here are the tips in writing the bullets. Number one, start with an action word or a verb. That's what basically an action word is in past tense. Here's some example. Developed, inspired, led, trained, created. Avoid using adjectives or descriptive words like magically, single-handedly. You can use them, but just not at the beginning of the bullet. For example, performed consistently instead of consistently performed. I'm sure you get it. Number two, spell out numbers less than 10 and use numbers over 10. Example is number 1. So you have to spell out 1. Or maintained equipment over $1 million. So that $1 million or $100,000, whatever number you put, you have to put numbers on them. Next one is you have to capitalize nouns or titles. So to do this, you got to know whether what you're writing is a title or just a general description of an element. For example, is platoon or station or company or battalion or brigade. Those are written in lowercase typically, but if you use it as a name like reconnaissance platoon, Chicago Army recruiting station, Chicago Recruiting Battalion, 3rd Recruiting Brigade. So those become titles. So you have to capitalize that. Number 4, watch your punctuation. I say this because I see this a lot. Punctuation, like periods and apostrophes. So in the NCOER, there's no periods at the end of each bullet. Just forget about putting periods. The next really is about apostrophes. Because if you don't put apostrophe, the word changes its meaning. I'm going to give you an example. Platoons or platoons with an apostrophe S. Platoons means it's a plural. Platoons with apostrophe means a platoon's ownership of something. For example, platoon's equipment. Stations is plural, a lot of stations. Station apostrophe S is station's time. So something that the station kind of have ownership on. So just be careful and be mindful where you put, or if you have to put an apostrophe on there. Number 5, the very last one is quantify. When you write the bullets and you're claiming something, you have to put quantifiable data that supports your claim. Here's an example. Developed an interactive future soldier program which decreased future soldier loss by 30%. Another example would be structured a physical fitness program which increased the platoon's ACFT average score of 550 or 500. You get the idea. There you have it. Hope that helps. Those are the 5 tips of writing your NCOER bullets. Now here's the bonus tip for Raider and Senior Raider overall comments. When you're writing your comments or you're writing the comments for the Senior Raider, just bear in mind the Raider has to focus on the performance during the rating period. Now the Senior Raider focuses more on the potential of the soldier to lead more troops or higher responsibility. This is very important to know because the Army promotes through potential. That's why the Senior Raider comments is very, very important, and it weighs heavily on your evaluation report. If you learned something today in this video, please do me a favor and hit the like button right there or right here. And if you want to watch a video, I created a video about how to improve your OML. Just tap here, somewhere here in the screen. I'll post it right here. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. My name is Bombo. Thank you for watching.